Something more is facing backlash online after the band just released a teaser clip for their upcoming music video for Existential Dread, of course, taken from their latest album, Carnal. The deluxe edition is out now. Joining me in just a moment is frontman Johnny Hawkins to respond to that controversy. Now, this is a hot button issue in music, the use of AI, and there's a lot that fans have had to say about this in the comments, and a lot that Hawkins himself has had to say. But also, someone responding to this is producer Joey Sturgis, and I liked what he had to say as well. Here's a little bit of his response to all of this.
This is a really interesting situation coming up regarding AI creation in artist content. Austin says, everyone being upset about the AI is restoring my faith in the arts. Nobody wants to view or listen to something that was created by a machine. The entire point of art is to express our humanity. And for those of you that don't know, Nothing More just created a new song and a new music video that's got some AI generated content in it. Johnny, the lead singer of Nothing More, goes on to say, this logic is flawed. There is a huge difference between letting a machine create something and using a machine to create something. Nine Inch Nails is a perfect example of a prolific artist who used machines to sculpt their sound. It's all about how you use the tool that determines art, not which tools you are using. And in my opinion, I 100% agree with Johnny in this situation. We've been using tools to create art as musicians for decades. Look at the song Bob O'Reilly from The Who. That Teenage Wasteland, that song, the synthesizer is a machine. That's not a person playing that. A person is holding some keys. The machine is creating the sound. So where do we draw the line? Whose side are you on? Austin or Johnny? I'm personally with Johnny, but I want to know what you guys think.
Now, you can see a little bit of the visuals up on the screen now from this teaser clip, and I want to share with you a response, a comment that Johnny Hawkins left before we get to him just in a second. He wrote to fans complaining about this. AI didn't make a video for us. We hired an artist. I plotted out a vision, theme and visuals. Then that artist, Tristan, used AI to start generating images that he edited together through multiple versions and notes and then tweaked that into a visual experience for the viewer. If you think it's just machines creating it, then I would challenge you to come up with anything as compelling as Tristan did for the same price with different tools. Would love to see what you come up with. Outcompete him if that's what you say is true. And joining me now to discuss all of this is Johnny Hawkins himself, that new music video, Existential Dread, dropping on Monday. Johnny, thank you so much for being here. And what would you say to those fans out there who are pushing back on this new video?
The people who are upset, thank you for giving us more engagement on our posts. It helps boost the algorithm, so thank you very much. Um, I think it's pretty funny. There's this arbitrary line in the sand where there's kind of this emotional outrage. I've been doing music and forms of art since I was a kid. My mom was a painter. I can empathize with the struggle and with artists and everything, but throughout the years, tools have evolved and things get more advanced, more intelligent, more useful, more efficient, and AI is like this extreme leap in efficiency and the results that it can create. So I think we're having an interesting time right now. Like, this debate is kind of fun for me. Like, I like the energy and I like where people are, diving in. I totally disagree with a ton of them, but it's still fun. So yeah, let's jump into it.
And I mean, look, I mean, as you pointed out in your post, I mean, you hired an editor from what I understand, and the editor deployed some tools. And, there's a lot of, I think, conflation where people go, oh, if it's synthetic, it must be AI and there was no human ideas put into it. Well, it's like, have you ever used
Yeah.
a filter on a social media platform?
No,
Like,
yeah. It's hilarious, man. We spent, I'd probably say, a total of like 50 hours working on this video, from concepts to lyrical moments to visual crossover ideas, and then obviously this was a specifically an AI artist that we hired intentionally. It wasn't cutting a corner, although it absolutely is cheaper. Why spend a few $100,000 shooting a apple tree to make it look like it's otherworldly with a crew of 50 people when you can do it with one? I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. And I think most people who are actual working artists who do it professionally, have careers, understand this. When new tools are invented, like most of us are thankful for them because we actually get to do the thing that we were trying to do in the first place, which is create. Like the goal isn't to struggle through, uh, you know, the tedious details of the process to get the thing we want. The goal is to get the thing we want, right? So we intentionally hired an AI, excuse me, an AI artist, who he specifically all of the work that he does is manipulating AI as a tool. Similar back in the '90s, Nine Inch Nails, Trent Reznor. He's a prolific artist. His whole style was about manipulating machines and effects and just getting weird sounds out of the machines. You put something into it, you play with it, it generates all these things, and then you remix, much like what hip hop artists did with sampling, when hip hop became a huge thing. So it's all re-amalgamations of the same thing. This is just a new one for a lot of people. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them are Zoomers, but I will say one thing though. And this is going to offend a lot of people, but I don't see like a lot of really good artists threatened by AI. It's only shitty artists that are threatened by AI because AI is not going to replace really truly good creativity and art. Because I think what people are really afraid of, and this is what our AI artist, I got to credit him, Tristan, said, is that once you give people, like, you remove that gap between like all these skills and things that you have to acquire that were like not the point, but they were just like a means to an end, you democratize creativity, and then you are left with how uncreative you actually are. Because there's no difference between you and the person next to you because the tools have made it so much easier to get to what your actual idea is and what you're actually trying to say to people. It shortens the gap. So I think a lot of people are threatened by that. And at the end of the day, if AI really went to the nth degree of what people I think fear that it could do, and it wrote authentic songs, it connected with an audience, it performed live, it did all these things and checked all these boxes, and it replaced my job, then I would welcome it because I deserve to be replaced. If that's the case, that's evolution. I mean, nobody cried a tear for truckers when we were talking about self-driving cars, right? But artists are narcissistic. Shitty artists are narcissistic, so they think their job is so much more important and existentially, play on words here with existential dread, existentially more valuable than people who do really tough, necessary jobs that prop up society and everything that we do. So everybody at the time, I don't even remember, they were saying like learn to code when it came to truckers losing their jobs. When it comes to art, they're up in arms. It's pretty funny.
And then when you think about how ironic that statement learn to code was, and this is pretty much the first domino to fall in the AI era when, I mean, something I've been doing, plain language coding, you're able to just type in the type of app you want to build and it'll come in and just build itself, which is absolutely insane. But I think you're absolutely right. I think you talked about, $100,000 music video budget. How many bands are even going to spend that, able to spend that? I mean, this is not, we're not printing money over here in this genre. And so it empowers people. The video, look, here's what I don't see people saying, Johnny. I don't see anybody saying it doesn't look good.
Right, right. Now to be fair, there are some people saying that it looks like crap to them. I agree with you that most people that are being honest, like, it looks sick. I mean, that's why we hired this guy, because he was doing things with AI that I had not seen any other artist doing. He was doing this retro future horror sci-fi blend that was just really unique and had a taste, and I could see his eye in it, even though he was using generated imagery and manipulating it. But I will give the devil their due. There are people who are going to use AI in a shitty way, just like any tool. It's like when Photoshop came out, photographers are going to abuse it. And I'm sure at the time, there were film photographers who basically thought of digital photographers as not real photographers because they were just letting the computer do the work for them. When in reality, they were just opening up a whole new genre of digital art and photography and doing things that now we really appreciate because we have those tools to do them. They couldn't do it with film. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. We've worked with a lot of great people who agree with me and disagree with me on this topic. There are still great artists who hate AI. Like, that is just the truth right now. But we worked with a director one time who did an amazing video. And then we worked with him again, and he was just so against AI that we had this kind of this struggle because we had this concept for this really surreal intro, and he just would not sign off on it. So we're like, okay, cool, like beat it, like do something cooler. We'll give you the opportunity to not do AI. And what we received was a video with a bunch of stock footage that he just got from other people that they had recorded. You know what I mean? But in his mind, because humans did it, it was like morally okay, I guess, in his mind. It checked that box. And to me, that's dumb. It's like you you just gave me a shit video with uninspired imagery that I've seen on many other things. You didn't even shoot it yourself because we were on a certain budget. You knew you couldn't, but you had this like moral stance against AI, which would have actually generated something new and different. And on that point, I want to say one other thing about that is people will say that AI scans artwork and artists and all this stuff and amalgamates that information. And in their mind, that process is AI stealing it, which is funny because I'm like, you just described how humans like work, how the mind works. We all scan other artists. Like we all scan art. We don't create in a void. Like since the day that we heard our first song, like we're kind of pre-programmed to be influenced by all these things. Like that's how our brain works. So I think a lot of people just have a very big gap in understanding on how creativity works and how influenced we are. AI is just doing it at like this super speed level of data processing. But that's what our brain's doing too. It's pretty funny.
And I think that too, when you have, should it only be massive people with unlimited resources that are able to make high quality videos? I mean, I don't really see how this doesn't enhance the space. If, so just to recap, okay, you hired an editor who was paid, a human oversaw a technology based on your vision, which you hand are farm to table, basically, so to speak, involved in over 50 hours working on. It doesn't sound to me as though this was some automated video from a prompt that like it's being made out to be.
Exactly. This is what's so funny to me, this arbitrary line in the sand. Like, let's just do a little thought experiment. Let's say I had $100,000, right? And I paid 10 people, lighting crew, hands, assistant director, makeup, all of that to go shoot this surreal looking thing, which $100,000, by the way, wouldn't get me this look. Even then, I still wouldn't reach my goal of what I wanted this to look like because I wanted it to be otherworldly. But even still, if we did that, we spent all that time and I could theoretically get the same result. What's the point? Why did I pay all these people $100,000 if I could have just done it? You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
you could ask people that with everything. It's like, well, you could walk there. Why'd you use your car? You
Yeah.
know, it's just silly. But yeah, there's kind of a romanticizing of struggle because I think there is struggle in art and there is an element of that that's true, where you know to make it in this industry or to make it in music at all is very difficult. And you have to go through a lot of struggle to kind of be formed in the fire and be kind of polished into a diamond of some sort artistically, right? But like you said, like democratizing and making it more accessible for more people to go on that journey just seems like a great thing to me. That doesn't seem like a bad thing.
Totally agreed. And I just want to say, this song is great. The Carnal record is amazing. Other than this music video dropping out, what do you want to share the band has coming up?
Yeah, so we got this video coming out Monday, called Existential Dread, and very soon we will be back in Europe in November doing a bunch of shows for our final tour on Carnal, and then we will be in the US doing our final tour for Carnal.
Sick.
Sorry, my sorry, go ahead. My brain's a little tired. I've been working all day, so I'm trying to remember what we're doing.
No, totally. And I appreciate you, y'all. Johnny Hawkins, I just hit him up and he came right on. Real guy here. Absolutely love it. Appreciate the time. And again, this new music video dropping Monday. See it for yourself. Make up your own mind and check it out on Monday. An amazing track from a great record. Nothing More, one of my favorite bands out there.